Hey everyone, it's Dyson from Dennis Kirk. Welcome to the DK Studio. Today we're taking a closer look at these three Shoei helmets in front of me here. Now all three of these helmets belong to the same family because they have a lot of the same features here. In fact, each of these helmets were designed in Shoei's brand new $2 million wind tunnel facility, which means you're going to see a lot of features pulled from each of these three here. Now if you guys want to see each individual one, click the link of the corresponding helmet below. We'll fast forward you to where you want to go. We're going to start here with the Shoei J-Cruise. I'm going to slide the GT Air off the side here and the Neotec here, and we're just going to jump right in. Now working with the 3/4 inch shell, what we're going to do is to take a look at the visor here. As you can see, this visor goes extra far down. In fact, I can barely fit my fingers underneath of it when it's sitting flat on the table here. That's going to provide optimum coverage across your face to make sure you're not going to have any wind entering your helmet. Now, just to make sure that that is the case, Shoei went ahead and they provided a little lip at the bottom here. It's going to be very similar to the vortex generator on the Neotec. We'll talk about that later. But what that's going to do is it's going to catch the air from sucking up into the inside of the helmet, and it's actually going to kick it off to the side, meaning that's going to be very solid side to side. It's not going to wobble at all, and it's going to be very, very quiet. You're not going to believe how quiet it's going to be because you're not going to have any air entering the bottom there. If you guys are looking for a helmet that your friends are not going to believe how quiet it is, and you want something that they don't have, this is going to be the one, because like I said, this is brand new. We just got the first shipment in yesterday. This is the very first helmet we have in stock. Now, taking a closer look here at the visor after we open it up here. There we are. Now, I do want to point out that the gasket itself, if you take a really close look, you can see it's almost got a recessed set to it. What happens is when we close the visor, I'll see if I can't do this slow enough to catch it, but the visor itself actually gets sucked back into the helmet here. It shuts down and gets pulled back in. Now what it's going to do is that it provides a very wind-tight seal across the entire top of the helmet here, meaning that no matter what you guys are doing, where you guys are riding, how fast you're going, you're not going to have any wind entering here. You're not going to believe how quiet of a helmet this actually is. Now, I did mention that these are all in the same family, and the reason why is because we have built in a wind visor, sunscreen here, sun visor here. Now the sun visor isn't ANSI approved. That is for optical clarity, shatter resistance. It's going to be it's like getting a very expensive pair of sunglasses built right into your helmet. It's going to be an amazing touch driving down the road. Now talking a little bit more about that sun visor, the sun visor itself is designed forward enough that no matter how long your face might be front to back, or if you have a larger nose, you're not going to have to worry about anything hitting here. It's going to clear you just fine without an issue. Now, in addition, this is one thing I think Shoei definitely did right. Instead of thinning the shell out, their Ames material of the shell out, what they did is they raised the interior of the helmet and put that sun visor in there, which means that the shell thickness is not going to be compromised in the front there, which we don't want to happen, especially if you guys get into a bad accident. So once again, Shoei did it right. Protection first, features second, there it is. Now, moving back to the shell itself, like I mentioned, the shell itself is designed to be an extremely aerodynamic shell. As you can see in the rear here, we have an integrated rear spoiler. Some great features about that is it's not a add-on product, it's actually built into the shell, one of the first things they do. What that means, this is going to be a very durable, long-lasting, but it's going to be very, very balanced to your head. It's going to feel very comfortable front to back, left to right, in addition to providing extra stability. Now the front vent on the top here does have three settings. It has closed, open, and halfway open, which means you can control how much air is being refreshed through the helmet here. Now the J-Cruise itself does have two independent rear exhaust vents here you can control. Once again, fully open, halfway open, fully closed. You can control what's going on there. But the ventilation of all three helmets here, the J-Cruise especially, goes all the way down to the bottom of the helmet here, which means the back area of your head is not going to be any warmer than the top of your head either. It's going to be very cool throughout the entire area of the helmet. Now, just in case you do get a little warm inside, don't worry, the interior liner is fully removable, 100%. Take it out, wash it, let it dry, put it back in. Now, in addition to that, we're going to take a closer look at Shoei's 3D liner. Now, the liner inside is designed of multiple densities. You can even get that in different thicknesses aftermarket if you want. Shoei does provide it in multiple millimeters thick to get a perfect fit. But if you guys are looking for a quick fitting helmet, this is going to be the one. That 3D liner is designed to break into your personal face extremely fast. Within a couple of rides, you're going to have a perfectly fitting, comfortable helmet to you. And in addition to that, that 3D liner provides twice the moisture wicking properties of many competitive helmets on the market. So once again, for a 3/4 helmet, this is gonna be one of the quietest 3/4 helmets on the road. Brand new here at Dennis Kirk, available from sizes extra small to 2XL. So if you guys are looking for something none of your friends have, this is the way to go. Now we're gonna dive into the Shoei GT Air helmet. The GT Air is the full face version of our family of 3 here because once again, we have our integrated sun shield technology. Now this is an ANSI approved for optical clarity and shatter resistance. So that's gonna be a very powerful, it's basically getting a very high-end pair of sunglasses built right into your helmet. Now, once again, you never want to open or operate this by pulling on the visor itself. You always want to operate it by pulling on the glove-friendly, very smooth operating lever on the side here. So once again, don't push it up and down there. Great interior sun shield. Now we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the aerodynamics of the full-face GT Air here. Now, I do want to point out right off the visor here, the visor itself has a little tab for opening the visor up. It's a lot farther forward. The reason for that is because when it's on the side, it provides a little bit more wind drag on the side, which can increase the chance of it being buffeted around. By putting it forward, it makes it more aerodynamic. The wind can flow much freer across it and just exit the helmet much easier. Now, sliding back to the back of the helmet here, we do have the built-in rear spoiler. Now what that's going to do is going to provide a very balanced feel front to back, left and right, and it's going to provide increased significant stability of the helmet. No more buffeting, no more getting kicked around in your head there. Now, the helmet itself, the ventilation of the helmet is designed in a more sport-like position. Oversized main vent here is designed to be used when really crouched over a sports bike, etc. Now, a couple different things about the ventilation here. The ventilation does run all the way back to the helmet, down to the very bottom here of that interior liner. The ventilation itself has 3 settings on the oversized main vent up top. We have closed, fully open, halfway closed. On the bottom here, we have the chin vent, which provides that fresh breath of air to your visor, making sure it keeps it fog free. And that's just simply open and closed, not much to it. Now, jumping into the helmet itself, we're gonna go ahead and open our visor back up. Now, the really cool part about the visor itself is it's going to be a very wind-tight seal across the bottom and across the top. If you take a very close look, you can actually see that the visor itself, or the gasket here, is actually set up to be recessed into that gasket. So what we're going to do is that when we close the helmet, what that does is the helmet itself actually closes and then sucks the visor back into the helmet, making sure we have a very airtight seal. Once again, that's going to provide a very quiet ride and probably one of the quietest rides on the market for the helmet goes. Now, because it's so quiet, this helmet is going to be perfect for anybody that wants to ride and have a communication system on, or if you're starting to get into motovlogging, you can definitely do that too. And for that reason, the chin bar area here has an extra wide opening or extra long opening here, so you're easily going to be able to fit a microphone or anything else inside of it. Now, also included in that, since we have our chin screen down here, no matter if you put a microphone down here or what the case is, it's going to be extremely quiet from here as well. And that chin guard also helps to filter the air back to our 3D liner here. And that 3D liner does come down and cradle the bottom of your head even tighter. That way it's going to provide an airtight seal across the entire thing, or a very wind-resistant seal across the entire helmet. Now, moving back inside the helmet here, as I mentioned, the ear pads are removable. You can replace those with communication earpieces so you can hear what's going on. The liner itself does come in multiple densities. You can get that thicker pads or smaller pads for a very personal fit. But the 3D liner itself is designed to break in very quickly because it uses multiple densities throughout the entire liner here. Let's go ahead and open that up there. So around the area, around the cheek pads, around the ear pads, around the neck area, it's all going to break in very quickly. It's going to be very comfortable. But in addition, it also provides twice the moisture wicking properties of competitive helmets on the market. So we're going to go ahead and just turn it upside down here, so you guys take a closer look here. Now, as I mentioned, this thing does wrap around your head a lot closer. This helmet here also comes with Shoei's emergency release system. All we have to do is go ahead and pull down this red tab, and it actually pulls out the chin, or the cheek pads for medical personnel to easily remove the helmet in case of a bad wreck. So that is a great feature, which is also found on the X12 or other Shoei helmets as well. Now, in addition to it being extremely comfortable and being personalized to you, it's going to provide twice the moisture wicking properties of other competitive helmets on the market, which means this is not only going to be a very comfortable helmet, but a very dry helmet. Now, just in case you guys do work up a sweat, say you're really throwing your bike around in really warm temperatures, don't worry, the entire liner is removable. You can wash it, let it dry, put it back in, you're good to go. So that is, in a nutshell, the Shoei GT Air helmet, full face helmet from Shoei. Let's go ahead and move over to the Neotec now. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into the Shoei Neotec modular helmet. Now if you guys are looking at this thinking it looks a little bit familiar, that's because originally this was designed to replace the Multitech, but it became so very much more after Shoei built their $2 million wind tunnel facility. This became a completely redesigned, ground-up helmet that started the whole new line of the 3 helmets here. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into the same features because this does belong to the same family as the GT Air full face and the J-Cruise 3/4 shell, and the reason why is once again, once we open this up here, we have our integrated sun shield technology. And what that sun shield is, it's like having a very, very expensive pair of sunglasses built right into the helmet. Because this is an ANSI approved for optical clarity, shadow resistance, it's going to be a very, very high quality sun visor inside the helmet here itself. Now I do want to point out that the sun visor itself is designed far enough forward that even if you have a longer face front to back, or maybe a larger nose, this is not going to hit you at all. It's going to clear your face, it's going to be very comfortable, and you're going to love that extra feature. Now, in addition, this is something I think Shoei definitely did right. When they built that sun visor inside, instead of fitting the shell area in the forehead, they made the shell area the same, but they raised the interior height of the helmet. What that means is that if you're in a wreck, you're not getting no place in the helmet is compromised from being thinner. It's just as thick here as it is here to here, and it still has that awesome feature of the sun shield inside. Now, in addition, we're going to move back down to the front here. Like I said, the Multitech looks similar because it has that main front release for the modular helmet in the front. Now, this has been redesigned. It's larger, it's easier to grab, so very, very, very glove friendly. Just grab it and you're going to be able to open the modularity of the helmet up itself. When you do open the modularity of the helmet, we have stainless steel locking mechanisms all the way through it, so it's going to be a very durable, very secure lock no matter where you're riding, what you're doing. Let's go ahead and shut that down here for now. Now, this is a huge reason why Shoei decided to build their $2 million wind tunnel facility, and a lot of that technology for designing and research and design is a direct result from this here. If you take a look right at the modular cut line here, you can see that the lip of the modular flip actually flares out just a little bit. Shoei calls this a vortex generator. Basically what that does is it allows the air itself to be flicked out and sucked up. That way air is not entering the inside of the helmet through the modular gap there. What that means is that this is going to be a very, very, very quiet helmet, even for being a modular helmet. Now, to improve on that quietness of the helmet and the shell, Shoei went ahead on the front visor here. They went ahead and they moved the windshield grab lever, if you will, farther forward so it's not catching anything, the wind's not catching on it. It's going to be more aerodynamic that way. And in addition, just like the GT Air helmet, when this visor closes, we'll slide the helmet back here, when the helmet closes, it actually closes down and then sucks the visor back into it. Now, if you take a closer look at that gasket, you can see that it's actually recesses back into it, which means you're going to have a water airtight or wind resistant seal across the top of it, behind it, and on the bottom. When it sucks it down, it creates a double bead throughout the bottom of it. So the entire visor area here is going to be pretty much so windproof. You're not going to have anything entering here. It's going to be an extremely, extremely quiet helmet, which once again is great if you guys are doing communications systems, or if you're doing moto vlogging as well. Now, if you guys are using microphones, another awesome area here is the chin guard itself. The chin bar itself is a little bit farther forward, so you can easily put a microphone or anything else inside there. And in addition, it has this the chin screen on it to make sure that no more wind is circling up, turbulating inside of there. It's going to be a very wind resistant or windproof helmet. Very, very, very quiet. You're not going to believe it. Give it a shot and go from there. So that is, in a nutshell, the Shoei Neotec modular helmet. It's probably one of the quietest modular helmets on the market, if not one of the quietest helmets, period. Now, once again, each of these 3 helmets were specifically designed to be very, very aerodynamic and very, very quiet. Now, an additional thing that I want to talk about that I may not have touched on is the fact that the interior liner is A, 100% removable, but B, there's a little notch, if you will, a little cutaway between the cheek pads and the roof of the liner, which means that if you guys wear prescription sunglasses or prescription glasses, they're going to fit very comfortably. The arms are not going to be digging into your temples, and it's going to fit very comfortably, and that sun shield is still going to be able to clear any glasses that you might wear. Just so you guys know, these are not a contact-only helmet. In addition, I want to talk about is a Shoei warranty. If you guys accidentally drop this, if something happens, I mean, after all, accidents do happen. But if you ship the helmet to Shoei, they will inspect it and they will ship it back to you free of charge. So all you have to do is pay whatever it's going to cost for you to ship it to Shoei. That's it. They'll pay to ship it back, they'll inspect it for free, and they'll tell you, hey, your helmet's good to ride, or you might want to look at getting a new one. So once again, if you are looking at getting a Shoei helmet, take a look at the Dennis Kirk website for the perfect one for you. We'll ship it the same day you place your order.
For more information, check us out at denniskirk.com.